Mayakashi is shaping up to be the best deck in the game right now, but there's been some new context since the box right after the support drop gave us Mizuki, which really gives us a lot more to work with than we had before. The deck still operates exactly the same as it does in the Mayakashi video, but there's more you gotta know about it too. In this video, I'm gonna be talking as if you already watched the Mayakashi Advanced Guide, so if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch that video before watching this one, or else you might be a bit confused. So like I talk about in the Advanced Guide, a great way to play around DD Crow and other interruptions is by using Yuki Musume to send a copy of Daki to the grave. If they can stop one of our Dakis from coming back, it's really unlikely that they'll be able to stop both Dakis from coming back. That said though, there are other interruptions that this isn't going to help you against. Often if the opponent can stop you from keeping two face-up monsters on the board, you can't continue your plays, and if you can't use Mayakashi Return to send Mayakashi Winter so you can play through the opponent keeping you off of getting those two monsters, then you'll just have to end your turn. In cases like those, you can use Yuki Musume to send Mizuki instead, so that the Mizuki can revive something to ensure that you have enough bodies on board to go into your Link 2 and get your combo started. Mizuki banishes itself to revive any zombie, so not only can it help you to play through interruptions, but it can also be good to break the opponent's board by reviving your synchros for more destruction on your own turn. Breaking the opponent's board easier and getting more damage on the board easier makes Mizuki a perfect fit for this deck. If you feel like it's more important to play around DD Crow, then you can send a bonus copy of Daki to the grave on your first turn, and then on your follow-up turn you can have Yuki Musume send Mizuki, since Yuki Musume is going to be engraved from last turn anyway. The issue with Mizuki is that there is a chance that you're going to open it even if you only play one copy, and Yuki Musume can only send it from deck, so it may be a dead card in your hand. Nine-Tailed Fox is also bad to open in hand, but at least you can activate its summon effect from your hand, so you may feel like it's better to play the Nine-Tailed Fox for the benefits I talked about in the Advanced Guide. The benefits that Mizuki give you though are quite a lot better than the benefits of Nine-Tailed Fox, and if you play one copy of each, you're increasing your chance of bricking in general, so we gotta find ourselves a solution. Since you're probably going to be bricking yourself if you play Mizuki and Nine-Tailed Fox, you're really gotta make your own choice based on what you feel is more important between these two. The benefits of Nine-Tailed Fox that I go over in the Advanced Guide could still be helpful, but Mizuki's benefits are going to be more beneficial to you more of the time. They both have the same weakness in hand of being nearly unusable, but at least Ninetales can still do what Ninetales does when he's in your hand. To circumvent this weakness, you could discard him as cost with Forbidden Droplet, which needs cards to send to the grave anyway, so they're cards you can send pretty much without having any worries. But of course, the issue with this solution is that Forbidden Droplet is currently paywalled, so budget duelists just gotta twiddle their thumbs while Konami rakes in cash for paywalling a product that they know would still get them hella money if they didn't paywall it. So if you can't play Forbidden Droplet, you may still prefer to pick Ninetales. However, budget or not, you can play 1-for-1, which discards a monster to summon a level 1 from deck, that being the level 1 Hajin to get your play started since he also triggers on special summon. You don't really benefit from playing this if you are discarding Daki, Yuki Musume, or the Ninetales on Mizuki, but if you are playing hand traps in your deck, then you could discard one of those in a pinch if you wanted to as well. So I would say that if you are a budget duelist, you can play Nine-Tailed Fox if you really want the better case scenario of if you open your one-of, but Mizuki is going to give you better benefits overall, so you can use a card like 1-for-1 to discard it potentially and still get those benefits. If you don't have both Mizuki and 1-for-1 in your hand, it's totally fine though. Of course, that situation is very unlikely to happen. If you have your combo, then on your follow-up turn, if you have at least one monster left on the field, then you can summon Yuki Musume from grave, then normal summon Mizuki, then use all three of your monsters to link summon your third copy of the Link 3 Yuki Onna, the Icicle Mayakashi, since it requires any zombies, not necessarily Mayakashis in particular. This way, you'll get that on-summon negate of the Link 3, but you'll also get that Mizuki engraved so you can revive more synchros to break the opponent's board in OTK. In the Advanced Guide, I tell you how you can play through Effect Veiler, DD Crow, Warning Point, and Book of Moon, but because of Mayakashi's popularity, an undervalued staple might actually become more popular again, and that's Compulsory Evacuation Device. The big deal with this card is that if they are able to bounce one of your synchros, you will already have your other synchros engraved, you won't be able to climb back into it. If you are going second and you go for the synchro combo, then there's really nothing you can do about getting compulsed on one of your synchros, because you won't have enough material on field to go into your Link monster and to send the rest of your synchros into the grave. It's better to just send them to the grave with a skill and try to play around their back row by putting monsters on board to go into the Link combo, because any two monsters sticking to the board will get the job done. If you are going first, however, it might actually be preferable to go for the full synchro combo in cases where it's convenient to do do so. Most of the time, going for the link combo is better because it means you can ignore levels. But if your opponent doesn't have any hand traps to screw you over, then this might be the way to go, because then if they can pulse one of your synchros after you summon it from grave, then you'll be able to use a skill to put it right back into the grave. One issue with going for the synchro combo though is that it makes you have Hajun summon Daki from the deck, and while this isn't necessarily an issue, it is often better to have Hajun summon Yuki Musume from the deck, so that when you use them as link material to go into the link 2, then you can use Yuki Musume to summon itself from grave and send Daki. That way you'll have the exact same combo, but you will also have a Yuki Musume in the grave, so you can send a Mizuki to the grave on the turn after. So basically, if you want to do the synchro combo instead of skipping the process, make sure that you're going to be able to have access to Yuki Musume on the follow-up turn by some other means. Apart from the addition of Mizuki, the deck doesn't really change that much. However, it is worth noting that as the formats change and as time goes on, the way that the deck is built may also change. Of course, I'm still not playing Mayakashi Mayhem because it is only ever good when everything else is good, and I'd prefer all of the cards in my deck to be as useful as possible at all times, but you can still make your own choices when it comes to the deck as well. When it comes to generic cards you can play, if you have Forbidden Droplet, it really is so good to use it not only to be able to discard a card you might need discarded, not only to shrink the opponent's big monsters to make it easier to beat them in battle, not only to negate opponent's monsters in a way that doesn't target them so that you can interrupt them and turn off their protective effects, but also to clear up your own board of any monsters that might be flipped down so that you can continue to summon monsters to the field with Winter and Mizuki if the opponent is locking down your field with Book of Moon, Floodgate Trap Hole, or even a Warning Point. Enemy Controller can also fill that purpose of clearing your own field a bit as a nice free-to-play option. You might also like to play Monster Reborn in this deck. You could very easily use this as an extension play to play through interruptions the same way Mizuki or Winter would do, and just the same, you could use this as a way to revive your synchros to break the opponent's board more. If you felt like you needed more starters in the deck, you could play 1-for-1, which can summon Hajin from the deck at the cost of a monster to discard. So far, I've mentioned 3 different cards that are all limited to 1, all of which are unsearchable, so you can't necessarily build your deck around them, but by drawing into them, you can benefit quite a lot. You can make your decision for which you feel is most beneficial to you, because really, all of them are solid options, and the truth is, since they aren't a part of the inherent game plan, you don't necessarily have to play any of them if you don't want to. With however many slots you have left in your deck, you can put in whatever generic cards you think would be most beneficial to you based on what decks you think you are most likely to face against. For example, if you are going against Tachyons, then cards like Book of Moon and Needle Ceiling would be helpful to you, and if you are going against a deck like Tenyi, then Warning Point and Lancia would be helpful to you. In this format though, the most versatile card against the decks you are most likely to face against is DD Crow. It really cripples Shiranui hard. It can weaken Tenyi's plays and potentially remove some of their protection. It can interrupt the Live Twin combo. It might be able to prevent Blue Eyes from fusion summoning. In the mirror match, it could banish the opponent's Daki to prevent them from getting a Link 3 engrave, and if they're able to play around DD Crow, then you can banish whatever synchro you least want them to be able to use against you. Against Galaxy Photon, you can banish their Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in response to them trying to revive it with Galaxy Knight. And against Shadows, you can banish their Schism before they get to add it back to their hand. You can see just how good DD Crow is, so if you have it, I really recommend playing it. Truly though, you could play whatever staple cards you believe are most beneficial to you based on the format, or whatever staples you have available to you. At the end of the day though, I'm not here to tell you how to build your deck, I'm just here to show you how to play it, so be sure to let us know what you are doing with your Mayakashi deck in the comments. If you guys thought that you were done with zombies, then let me remind you real quick. Daki always comes back. Mayakashi is one of my favorite decks ever. It even got me to play Master Duel again, so if you're interested in seeing that, then check out this video here. And if this video was confusing to you at all, it's probably because this video assumes you already watched the Mayakashi Advanced Guide. So if you haven't seen that video yet, then go ahead and do that. If you have any other questions about the deck or in general, be sure to leave them in the comments and we can talk about it, or join the Team 6K community Discord. The link is in the description, and you can tag me if you need any help with the deck. But yeah guys, if you liked the video, then slap like now, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell to get notified every time we make a new video. Have yourselves a good one guys, and I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be. with a song if they wanted the weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean, so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream, so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast. For real.